Hey, Jorge Estrada. It's now the fourth time I'm starting over because my videos are always too long. It's now October 3rd, and in Texas, October 21st starts early voting. So this is probably the last video I make, the last political video. And I just want to get out a few points because every time you go on social media, you're going to be bombarded with these left-wing extremists that demand evidence and this and that. And I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it for two reasons. One is you have the same internet that I have. And reason number two is that to 99% we see the same interviews, the same conferences. And so you can do your own research. It is your responsibility, not mine. And why did I say 99%? Is because apparently there's people out there that didn't know that Kamala Harris was running for president in 2020. Now, I don't know if their TV station didn't show it or if they didn't pay attention. I don't know. It's our responsibility. It's not the government's responsibility. It's not your responsibility to show me. With that being said, I want you to go out. I'm not talking about middle of the road class here in this video. Middle of the road people is both parties, independents, common sense, pro-American policies. I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about the far left and the far right. And neither one is good. Now, people call me cult member and this and that. I'm not. Simply for the fact that I do disagree with Donald Trump at some things, some points. I do disagree with the Republican Party. And what you probably didn't know is that I ran for office here in Texas. And I have seen behind the curtain, I've seen stuff that I don't like, that I disagree with. And it is actually my opinion that the parties are the problem. They have too much money and power and influence. And then also career politicians are the problem. Because they let themselves get manipulated by others, whichever way. So that's the problem. And government is a necessary evil, and Donald Trump is the lesser out of the two evil. And that's why I'm gonna vote for Donald Trump. But in general, the 4 years he was in office, his policies were better. You can't disagree. For me, what I've seen, what I've experienced, my friends have experienced, my wife has experienced, we had a better life those 4 years. There was no new wars going on. Other world leaders, I don't know if they were scared or because it was unpredictable. I don't know, and I don't care. But he was out there putting his foot down, and that's what we need. Now, again, I'm being called a cult member, which I'm not. But when I go to the far left, I see that nobody cares what their candidates do or say, even though they contradict themselves or flat out lie on national TV. So that looks more like a cult to me, because you can't disagree with your overlord, right? So I want you to do your own research. Don't listen to me or don't take it from me. Do your own research and see who has the better policies. Who is attacking the First Amendment? I know back when it was still Twitter, both parties had requests there, I believe, to censor stuff or delete stuff, which is not okay. They should be held accountable. They should apologize. But look who's doing it now. Who is looking for censorship, for this office of misinformation. No, it's whose responsibility is it to figure out misinformation? It's the listener. It's our responsibility. If I tell you the sky is green and you go run with it, then that's on you. The least you can do is look up and say, oh, I don't think it's green. I think it's something different. Your responsibility. It's the least you can do. Due diligence. We have to do our job as citizens. And that's what a lot of people forgot. Everybody screams about their rights. Nobody talks about their responsibilities. So Look who is attacking the First Amendment. Should never be okay. It's not okay. These people need to be held accountable. People cry for term limits. We need a law that puts term limits into place. We are the term limits. Period. Excuse me. We are. But we have to use it. Look who is infringing on the Second Amendment. It doesn't matter if you like guns or dislike guns, if you want them or you don't want them. It's in the Constitution. Politicians should never infringe on that. You cannot flat out, I mean, they have a clear agenda of gun bans, gun confiscation, red flag laws, but then they want to lie about it and say they're gun owners, they're not taking anyone's guns away, and then hours later they keep talking about gun bans. That's not okay. I mean, you are a liar, period. You say whatever you feel like you have to say in order to get what you want. Not okay. Also not okay with Trump's bump stock ban. I don't like that piece of item. It's a piece of plastic. It's dumb. It's unnecessary. But it's a piece of plastic. It should not have been banned. Period. He opened actually a door for the authorities, for the agencies to come up with their own policies and work with that and circumference Congress, and that's not okay. It is not, and it should never be okay. So he should also apologize for that. And then you see how all the policies is always pro a foreign nation. And I'm not saying not helping them, but if people need help, we should help them. But speaking of that, we have the funds to send overseas, and then we have a natural disaster. And I know there is a cap on how the government can hand out the 700 or 750. I know, being called uneducated and that, but billions go overseas. So you cannot tell me we cannot change that. We cannot lower something else and raise the 750 to something else. We cannot internally transfer money. I mean, don't get me started. This is typical bureaucracy, typical government nonsense. They're not efficient at all. And then on top of that, people are being told, people that help out in the natural disaster zone right now, they're being told to stop doing that because now the big government comes in and they have to look good and important. These people are not your friends. They do not care about you. How about saying thank you? Thank you, fellow Americans, for taking action, saving lives, getting involved, and not just sitting back and watching and crying. No, you take action. I'm proud to be American. I'm proud that these people stand up and save their fellow Americans. And what's government do? Government is going to piss on you for that. That's unbelievable. Unbelievable. So please, don't just take my word for it. Go do your own research. We have all the same internet. And see what these people stand for. In my opinion, I don't want to keep saying the sky is falling. I don't want to jump on the bandwagon. But it is a very important election. And people have to do their own research. It's our responsibility. And we cannot have the regime getting stronger and stronger by abusing their powers of office, their influence. And if you look up the timelines, it's a long conversations, but if you look up the timelines and the events, how they try to take out their political opponent, to me that's telling. Because there's nothing on accident there. And it's not because he's a threat to us or this nation. He's a threat to their lifestyle. And this is what they want to protect. Otherwise, they know if they would release anything of these Epstein client lists, or it's the same with this Puff Daddy guy, we're not going to see much of it. Why? Because they know if these names are gonna get released, there is gonna be riots. But they're gonna be overrun by pissed off American citizens. And they know they can't stop it. They know that. So they're gonna keep this under lock and key and try just to sweep it under the rug. Say, oh, look over there. And then, they try to put this up and hope people forget about it. And that's just what they do. Because if they would care about you, they would change the policies to America first. And there's nothing racist about that. That's just, we have to, that they take an oath. It's our people, our country. And this is what they swore an oath to. And that's what they have to prioritize, period. If they would care about our kids and our health, they would look into the FDA. Why is all this crap approved? They would look into the CDC. What's really in it? Why are people dying? Should we really force them to take it? Just the start. They would look out with the WEF. With this stupid regime over there that think that they can tell people how to live. No, they would pull out of there and say, no, we are not participating in that, and we're certainly not going to give you any money. It's a stupid membership that we don't need. So, with that being said, I want you to do your own research and then vote American come November. I can talk about this for days, but I know it's gonna get long, the video, and people lose interest. But it is important. I do not understand when people vote for tyrants. Again, nobody's perfect. Nobody can expect, somebody being perfect. But to me, it's crystal clear who is the lesser evil out of the two, and what is really going on the one side with restrictions, censorship, bans, and no, I will not support it. I mean, people died to be free from a tyrannical regime, and now we're gonna vote our way back into it. No. So again, be responsible, make sure you can vote, and go out and vote, and be safe. Thank you.